What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Onyx here, going full nerd. What's going on? What's good? As you can see, I'm Black Adam out. Yes. Ooh, let's get funky with it. Where are you now? Where's everybody? What's up? It's 6 p.m. on a victory Sunday. Yes, my New York Giants won their game today in cardiac attack fashion, winning it in the fourth quarter. And my grandson had a blowout game today. Their team won 20-6 in their flag football match this morning. It's just awesome. It's just great. It's just wonderful. I am on top of the world. So, as I'm on top of the world, let's play the shameless plug, and then we can get into it, because you guys told me the shameless plug sounds good when there's music to it. What's up, everybody? It's shameless plug time. So thanks for checking out the podcast, Going Full Nerd. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe everywhere possible. So look for Going Full Nerd on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, goingfullnerd.com, and my Twitter handle, ONYXXX1969. You can also listen to the audio version on its home, Anchor.fm, but also on Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you consume your podcast listening pleasure. Hey guys, let's get on with the show. And I think I timed that perfectly. That was on point. Oh man. And if you missed it, go back to the replay, watch it, because that was kind of cool the way I did that. So what's happening, everybody? Hola, hola, hola. Hey, it is Sunday. We got through the stuff. We're going to just get to this. I'm sipping my adult beverage, because if you see the title, and the title of this pretty much is, I don't understand Warner Brothers. I really don't. I mean, we're going to review Black Adam right now, and I'm going to do my best not to spoil it. I'm going to do my best not to spoil Black Adam. I mean, I'm going to talk about the movie. I'm going to talk about a few things that I feel Warner Brothers, they need help. They need a lot of help. But overall, in general, maybe the superhero genre is going through this growing pain, going through this. That's the one thing that I got to sit here and stay. But that's okay. If you can't stay, that's fine. If you haven't seen it, that's fine. I'm going to do my best not to spoil key major plot points, but I'm going to talk in general about the characters but what I feel about this movie. Okay, first of all, let's go through facts. Facts. I know people wait for the top 5 box office, so let's talk about Black Adam. Black Adam made $67 million this weekend in the box office, getting the number 1 slot. They beat out Ticket to Paradise, the horror movie Smile. They beat out Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween Ends, which last week only got 40 million. So that should give you a little bit of, just a little bit of gauge and measurement on something that just got released. Then number 5, it ended up being Lyle Crocodile. I don't know what to say about that. I'm not going to talk about it. It is what it is. So let's talk. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Now, the first thing, and I got to bring this up, I'm not downplaying the fact that it made $67 million. This is the first film since Disney and Marvel's Thor: Love and Thunder release to top over $50 million during its debut weekend. That is great. That is awesome. Okay. No movie since Thor: Love and Thunder up until now has gone over 50 million in its debut weekend. If you remember, I just said Halloween Ends only made 40 million. Okay. That was last weekend. So that's cool. Now, I don't know if this is good. I don't know if this is bad, but I've got to go look at the stats for Thor: Love and Thunder, who made over 50 million in its debut weekend. But this particular movie got 67 million, but premium formats, which were IMAX, Dolby Cinema, large, big screens like the Big Show at Alamo Drafthouse, where I like to go see stuff, that accounted for 1/3, 33% of domestic ticket sales. Now, think about that. So out of 67 million, at least 21, 22 million was just because of the up-priced tickets for those premium forecasts. Those premium formats, excuse me. Is hitting. All right. So it's like, ooh. So do we give it the full 67 million, or do we say, hey, kinda 67 million with a caveat, but let's hold on. This is going to be my thing. This is what I'm going to go ahead and say to you guys. We're not going to take a crap on the 67 million. We're going to do that. But what we are going to get upset with, what we are going to do is talk to Warner Brothers. Because Warner Brothers, during test screenings, Black Adam got the same score as Batgirl. Black Adam and Batgirl had the same rating score from preliminary views during test screenings. Okay, so here's the key. Here's my line. If you made 67 million on Black Adam, don't you think you could have pulled 40 with Batgirl? Just saying, just a little bit. So this lends, in my humble opinion, a little more credence to you're just not trying to do the female superhero thing. I mean, Disney embraced it, but Warner Brothers, outside of Wonder Woman, y'all ain't feeling it. I'm just saying. It's not a fact. It's just a coincidence, in my opinion. And yet, we are still waiting on the Flash film from next year. I think it's next year it's coming out. Considering Ezra Miller got, he could get up to 26 years in jail. So I don't know how that's going down. There's been SRA talked about it. It's all sorts of stuff, I think. But anyway, let's continue on. Let's start talking about movie theaters. Okay. Now, buying tickets for this was a challenge. I'm going to say it was a challenge. I had to view this movie in a special way, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, because the theater where I normally like to go, it was actually full to the brim. It wasn't sold out. It was not sold out. But all the good seats were taken. I'm going to say it, all the good seats, because, you got that sweet spot. You got that stuff that's, you walk in the theater and there's this big aisle that you can walk across. Every theater is built that way. So you got what I call the front section, and then you got the back section. The front section, don't nobody want to be there. I don't even know why they put seats in that. They should make like the seats X amount high and far back. Theaters should be way bigger than what they really are, with just like a big open space in the front. But I figure they feel people are going to act a fool, be out there dancing and doing stuff. But anyway, it is what it is. And I can understand that the theaters were not packed out. I can understand that. But let's talk composition of this film. Now, I'm going to sit here and say, and I looked at other reviews before I started doing it, before I start talking about me. And my line is actually going to be along the lines of what good old Omar posted in chat, which is the overall movie was good. But, and I'm going to get there, and I'll get to the buts. And I'm going to get to the buts of the joke. Okay? The butts of the joke. And we're going to get to it. All right, so a couple of things. So we get the premise. We kind of seen a lot of the action and a lot of stuff in movie trailers, so I'm not spoiling this. You see Black Adam taking out people. If you've been on YouTube up until the release of this, then you saw a lot of stuff. If you saw the stuff that The Rock put out at Comic-Con and all that, you saw all that stuff. Okay, and I think I fill out the Black Adam shirt real good. I think think I could get a rocker run for his money. But here goes my line, folks. Here goes my thing. Okay. There's a couple of things that this movie kind of fell on that I think could have been done so much better. Now, overall, I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. It was good to me. But I'm going to talk about the characters. Yes, I'm going to talk about the characters. If you're reading into the chat, I'm going to get to that person, but I'm going to talk about the characters in general. First of all, Amanda Waller. Amanda Waller is the Nick Fury of the Warner Brothers universe. But the difference between Amanda Waller and Nick Fury is Amanda Waller's an asshole. Okay? We're just going to put that on the table. The table's here. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take my little opinion about Amanda Waller. She's an asshole. I'll fold it up. She's an asshole. We all got these, but I'm going to put this on the table. Boom. Amanda Waller. Now, I don't know how I feel about making Amanda Waller a central focal point for the Warner Brothers universe. I really don't, because the sketchiness of the Suicide Squad does not lend to superheroics. Okay? Just put it out there. Forget what you heard about Suicide Squad. Forget what you've seen about the Peacemaker show. Anything dealing with Amanda Squad is shady. Amanda Waller, completely shady. Everything. And I'm going to echo the opinion of the chat. Yes, Amanda Waller really had no business in this movie, but they used it as a plot point. Now, what is Amanda Waller doing speaking with the Justice Society of America, which we haven't heard anything from these jokers in all of the Warner Brothers cinematic universe? And I understand everybody says this is a reboot, this is a start, it's a whole new thing. The Snyderverse is gone, all right? But the Snyderverse lingers. It lingers on. Now, let's talk. Let's talk turkey. Let's break down the Justice Society of America. We've got Hawkman. This dude spent half the movie getting his ass whooped. I'm going to say it. He spent half the movie catching hands. All right? Don't talk about it later. He lived to fight another day, Craig. He was getting woe out. Okay? Then you've got Dr. Fate. I expected so much more of Pierce Brosnan and Dr. Fate. But here goes my line when it comes to Dr. Fate. Can we say they should have done so much more with Dr. Fate and Hawkman? I'm going to say it. Dr. Fate and Hawkman, in my humble opinion, are two more eccentric characters within the DC comic book universe. And Hawkman was completely out of character, in my opinion, for this film. Hawkman is a lot more brutal than what they portrayed him in this movie as far as heroic attitudes and philosophy. But I digress. Not going to spoil anything. They made him almost, in my opinion, a living contradiction for anyone familiar with the character. Now, let's continue on. And yeah, you can say Hawkman was badass. Hawkman was badass for somebody that continuously got his ass handed to him. Just saying. That's just me. But let's move on. Dr. Fate. Truthfully, they could have done so much more with Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate should have been shown to be way more powerful than what he was in the film. We saw a lot of tricks, a lot of things that we actually saw in Marvel's Doctor Strange, seeing the future, the multiple, or as I would say in Naruto language, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Oh my gosh. But here goes the thing. Pierce Brosnan, I give him a little credit. He acted like the regal entity that he was supposed to be. Although I think they gave his character, as well as the rest of the JSA, short end of the stick. Now, let us continue on. We're going to move on to, boom, Cyclone. Cyclone was a waste of a character. Very nice looking young lady playing the character. But I think that they could have done more. Now, for those of us that know, the original Cyclone from the original JSA was a powerless woman. Okay. Now, they introduced a couple of concepts inside here that I wasn't really familiar with the character, and I'm going to have to go back to my comic books. But the thing about it is, this character, though her visual effects and the way they portrayed her was way cool. The special effects with Cyclone and how she went into battle and how she did, oh, that was special effects and looking nice. Okay. Yet, the character lacked the dimension that I was like, But let's continue on. Now, who Atom Smasher? I really liked the way they did Atom Smasher. Atom Smasher, outside of his personality, which, spoiler alert, and this is for the comic books, not the movie. Spoiler alert, he becomes a little bit more jaded in the comic books, but he's got a refreshing kind of mindset in this particular thing. I'm so glad that they didn't go with his original power set, which was not power set, but original name, because back in the day, they used to call that character Nuclon. Anyway, that I'm glad they didn't go that way. Called him Atom Smasher over his current, visage in the comic books. And they did play a little bit in it, because in the comic books, he and Black Adam actually kind of got along. They hinted at it, but it really wasn't portrayed in the movie. But in essence, also, even with his special effects, they look great. But the key is character development and introduction of that. I think Warner Brothers has an introduction problem. And I think that's the big thing. Now, here goes my line. And let's continue on. So let's get to the main character and the main villain. Now, I have this same argument about Marvel as I do Warner Brothers. A lot of times, the main villain is just an amped up version of the main hero. Now, we basically avoided that because there is no Shazam in this movie. There's no Captain Marvel, as some people like to call him, no Billy Batson, none of those guys from the Shazam films make it into here. And that's fine. And I was wondering how they were going to kind of address this, because how do you have Black Adam, who is traditionally a Shazam villain, and not have Shazam? But that's fine. I guess that's going to come along in the future, and we're moving forward. But what we did have is the villain known as Sabak, which I think there was not a lot of motivation for the villain, but it was more motivation and kind of lightly changing Black Adam's origin. Now, in the comic book, Black Adam's origin was he got the powers from the Wizard Shazam. This one, they kind of altered it some and kind of made some key differences, which I am not going to talk about, which you'll have to see the movie to kind of see. But it was a good change. And to me, it made a lot of sense, since you were not introducing Shazam in this film. Now, ancillary characters such as the young kid, his mom, and the brother, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to call it, not the brother, but the brother of the sister of the young kid, the Kandakis, or whatever you want to call them. Now, it's cool that they could fanboy it, and they took shots at the live action Justice League and stuff. The kid was a fanboy of these heroes. You could see it. And, even though they're not cameos, you had a Wonder Woman poster, and I'm not spoiling stuff. You're going to see this Batman stuff, Superman stuff. You're going to see all that. And that's cool. I get it, because there's heroes in this world. But that kind of leads to the soft spot in the plot and everything, showing that the JSA exists, when you have a Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman running around the world with their Justice League, talking about we should form a Justice League. I know it's not connected. I know they're saying it's not connected, but people are going to try to connect to Warner Brothers. So you might as well just don't run away from it. Just acknowledge that or say off screen that they met each other and did something. That's all I can say. But to have the JSA and introduce legacy heroes, which we know exist due to shows like Peacemaker and shows like Suicide Squad, but still, you've had a couple of world ending situations, yet you're going to introduce this team. And then the other part about it is what superhero team takes out the youngest, newest members who have not been in training together and puts them on a mission? I mean, in the words of Allen Iverson, don't they need practice? We're not talking, they put them in the game, not practice. They put them straight to the game, not practice. So, it's little things like that that made me feel that the script was a little all the way around the place. And like, what the heck is this? What the heck is that? Where did these guys get these super powered vehicles? Why is this, group there in the first place? They kind of told us, but what is the big picture for the world? Why is Amanda Waller involved? We got none of that. Okay, we got none of that. So that's the shortcomings. The shortcomings. But let's talk about the pluses. All right. The pluses are it's a visually beautiful movie. The special effects were tight, in my humble opinion. I love the special effects, especially Adam Smasher growing, watching Black Adam do his thing, though his speed effect is something that left for me to be desired. But The Rock did his thing. The only things that were actually wrong with this, which, by the way, this is one of The Rock's biggest openings of a movie where he starred. Think about it. So, the thing I liked about this is the change in origin, the introduction of Black Adam, and how it kind of comes together and leads for the future. I dig it. I know it's been leaked on the internet. There is an after credit scene. I don't think I'm spoiling that. But to see his interaction with the bigger DC universe, great, hoorah. But it didn't make a lot of sense to me. It really, really didn't. Because this person would not be at the beck and call of Amanda Waller. And you guys know who I'm talking about if you saw the movie and stayed for the after credit. Okay? So, what does your boy Onyx give Black Adam? Outside of the one-dimensional villain known as Sabak, outside of the myopic Hawkman, and the misutilization of the rest of the Justice Society, the movie was actually fun. It was good to watch. It's great. Check it out as a matinee. Leave those. If you're gonna give it money, don't give it money to the big screen formats unless you really want to see great, great, great special effects. It's cool, but I still don't think it's worth the big screen format just because of the story, how things paced and flow. Now, what do I give it? Well, I'm going to actually be a little more generous than I usually am. Some people say it should be middle of the road, maybe a 3 out of 5. I'm going to give it 3 3/4, 3.75, just under a 4, only because the story, like I said, and the misutilization of some of the characters and the myopic look of Hawkman. Hawkman was a wasted opportunity in my humble opinion. Okay? He should have been great, and Dr. Fate should have been the main leader. Why we had Amanda Waller, I don't have a clue. And the fact that you got this non-powered lady ordering all these superpowered people around, interesting. Very, very interesting. But anyway, that's what your boy got. That's what your boy got. Let me go to hell here. What we got? Well, here's the thing. Warner Brothers really needs to get a hold of themselves. Now, successful Warner Brother films, when it came to superhero films, were all singular excuse me, singular held movies. Okay? Singular held movies. Joker, good. In their own little universe. All right? The Batman, it was decent in its own little universe. Aquaman, even though they tried to make it part of the bigger universe, really Aquaman was in its own little universe. Right? Okay. Suicide Squad. Felt like they had to attach everything, but it was really in its own. Every time something does well for Warner Brothers, it's in its own little universe. The Nolan trilogy of Batman, own little universe. Okay, Christopher Reeve, Superman, own little universe. All right. Now here's the thing. Marvel did it with the connected universe, and they did it big, and they did it, and that's the standard. Got it. We get it. Everybody wants to try to do that now. Got it. We get it. But the problem is don't rush it. And Warner Brothers continuously tries to rush it. This was a good film. Black Adam was a good film. Black Adam could have been a great film if they didn't try to rush so much. They're on a money grab. Warner Brothers, chill with it, yo. Chill with it. That's all I can say. Can't wait to see the next Shazam. Can't wait to see where they go forward with the rest of this, with the new Joker movie they're talking about, with Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn. That's going to be interesting. And I can't wait whether to see or not, see if Flash actually makes it to the screen with all the legal trouble of his star Ezra Miller. Lastly, we got 3 more big films for the rest of this year, folks. November 11th, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Cannot wait to see that one. Okay, see what happens from the trailers, from the power, the emotion that it brings. It looks like it's going to be real cool. Get your tickets now if you haven't already got so, because when we talk about it, it's going to be no hold bar. No holds barred. Okay, now, after that, they got another film that's coming out. It's a Disney animated. Now, all 3 of the big films for the rest of the year are all Disney produced, so sorry. They got an animated one called Strange World. Haven't really done any much look on that. I saw the trailer, animated, looks interesting. They got that 1950s science vibe to it, so I guess see. And lastly, but not least, Avatar, Way of the Water, as as mentioned last week, Space Pocahontas. We'll see, folks. We can't wait. We'll see what the rest of this year holds. Looking forward to 2023. And remember, please go into the description of the video. We got game day coming up November 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th game day where I get to play video games. You get to see it, all that good stuff, and donate to charity. So that seems like it could be pretty cool. And if you haven't donated, go ahead and donate a link. If you're not a member, join to be a member. 50% of what your membership is for that month, I'm donating to the charity anyway. As soon as I get the payout. I don't get payouts in only certain things, but I'm gonna match it. I'm gonna make it work. Anyway, we got to get stuff for the kids because, Children's Hospital in Washington, D.C., where we go ahead and sponsor every year, they are over full and need help. So, reach out there, reach into the wallet, do what you got to do, folks. Anyway, as always, thank each and every one of you. If you're in here, please hit the video with a thumbs up and a like, share with your friends. And if you can't say something nice, don't say it at all, send it to me. Let me say it for you. And as always, as I hit the funky outro music, peace, y'all, and I'm out of here. Yeah, now, let's drop that beat. There you go. Glad to see each and every one of you. If there was only a serious big red cheese. Now, that's the thing. I don't know what they're doing or where they're going with these Shazam and Black Adam and DC Universe stuff. Think of this as the after credits for going full nerd. If you hung around this long, I'm spoiling some stuff about the movie now. Okay? I'm going to do it. Yeah, I think you and me were the only ones who saw it. But honestly, I like that Henry Winkler cameo. I dig that. That was kind of cool. You gotta like that. But that after credit scene, to me, it was totally unnecessary. It was a cash grab. Glad to see that. But that is not the first person that should be showing up with Black Adam. And as you can see, The Rock put his flair on it. He didn't care, like the pace when they fighting in that one spot, and then you see stuff hitting the posters of Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. Come on, how you gonna act? This is the people you gotta share the screen with eventually, sooner or later. But the movie was fun. And that's all we really want from movies is fun. And if you stood around this long watching the replay and you haven't subscribed, there should be a subscribe button over here like 48 hours after this debut. Make sure you get there. All right, hit that like button. I know you in there. Hit a like. I'm gone.